Hi there, Anna-Lena here. I'm back doing another video on my twin flame journey, and it's been quite a while since I put out a video. And in this video, I want to share with you some of the things that have happened over the summer. And the title of this video is I'm His Girl Now. So if you want to know what that's all about, just stay tuned. It might be something completely different than what you might think or expect. Anyway, I do share these stories, thinking maybe that it can be of some kind of inspiration or maybe even help to someone who is going through similar challenges. So this summer, anyway, I'll just sum up very shortly. They said that Mercury was in retrograde. I think maybe Mercury was in crazygrade. Anyway, just to sum up very shortly, I have been moving back and forth between Denmark and Norway. My grown-up children live in Denmark, and we have had an old dog, which has also been my responsibility, or partly my responsibility. And my dad, over the past 2.5 years, has been just becoming increasingly older and harder to have at home. So I have been at home in Norway as well, and this was it's been perfect timing in my life as well. So altogether, all is fine, but it's becoming increasingly stressful. Also with the traveling, moving back and forth, and just having to surrender to God's plan, which is, I guess, just part of the training anyway. So what happened was that I wanted to stay in Denmark over the summer because of our dog, and my inner voice was just saying, stay in Denmark, because he was getting older, and he was on medication the last year for arthritis and for some coughing. So my inner voice just kept telling me, stay in Denmark. And but my housing situation was just one big question mark for a long time, and whenever I thought it was settled, it just continued to be very uncertain where I would live. So that was sort of adding to the stress of the whole situation. And I actually ended up moving 6 times, staying with friends, looking after some pets in friends' houses, and in the midst of that, dealing with what is left of my earthly goods. And there were many things that just did not work out. It didn't seem to work out anyway when I was in the midst of it. And then finally, my housing situation was settled, and that was fine. And one night I actually ended up sleeping in the car, which is my mom and dad's car that I was borrowing at the moment. And I parked it close to the beach, and I went to the beach just for maybe 15 minutes or so, maybe 20, to make a phone call. And when I came back, somebody had broken into the car and broken the glass, the front, the window. And I had done something which I usually never ever do. I had left my purse on the front seat. So obviously just a sign that I have been stressed, and they had taken my purse, my Norwegian mobile phone, and all my cards and everything that goes with what you have in your purse, right? And it's a nightmare having that stolen. So I spent the whole day, of course, dealing with it, with everything from the banks, what you need to do, and also the insurance company, and it was a Norwegian car, and I was in Denmark, and I needed to get all of that settled. And then I experienced something of what seemed to me to be like a malicious energy, which is an energy where somebody actually is feeling joy at your misfortune. So I felt that somebody felt like um, almost joyful at my misfortune, and by then, you know, things just they seemed just that it just got really really hard. And then the housing situation finally, it I moved into the house, and by then I was in a state where I ended up watching YouTube videos about near-death experiences. And I was just watching them. I was watching these people who come back with these experiences. And whatever their experiences have been, whether they've met their loved ones, they met Jesus, they met God, they met this unconditional source, loving source, just loving them for being exactly who they are. Some of them also went through experiences where they go through this life review, and they get an insight into how they made people feel. So anyway, for a week I watched these videos, and I listened to the messages that the people come back with. And some of the people who now, they come forth and they talk about it, they have gone through really, really hard times accepting it, and also sharing their stories with people, because maybe after many years, because some of them have been really, really afraid to be judged, and what their family and friends will say, will think about them. And but so that's really courageous what some of them have done. And it's obvious to see that some of these people, they have really, really had life-changing experiences. And some of them have been in car accidents and actually died, and then gone to the other side and had these experiences. And as I was watching this, I released a lot. I cried a lot, and I released a lot, and and more I sort of felt this loving presence. And okay, I'm getting emotional. Anyway, I felt the presence of Jesus, and that loving energy of just being exactly who I am. And that it came with a lot of tears and with a lot of releasing. And I felt into it, and it was such a wonderful state to be in, because it's also that feeling of help, that there is somebody there who can help you, who wants to help you. And I was just thinking that ever since I started making my own lunch boxes at the age of 8, my life has been about being independent, about managing things on my own. And it was just a wonderful childlike feeling that there was this loving source that I could ask for help. and that we, of course, we all have access to that that source, that loving source. And to me, it was both God and Jesus, and I could see Jesus in my using my using my imagination, and it was a very powerful process, and I want to share it uh, in case anyone is going through really, really, really hard times and getting maybe to the point where you just feel like you want to give up or can't see the point anymore and it's just getting too hard. And well, of course, I'm really grateful to the people who come back and they share these stories. Um, and if you're watching this, I'm sure you can read energies, and you will also know who have actually gone through that transformation and who has not. Um, and and it was also the feeling that, oh, I want more of this energy. Oh, this is such a relief. I really, really want more of this loving energy for just being who I am and nobody else. And then as the summer went by, I when I was in a situation, I could ask myself, how would Jesus want me to feel in this moment? And then I could sort of tune in on that peace and on that love, because that source would want me and want you to feel good about yourself, to feel peaceful about your situation, and to love yourself no matter what situation you're in. Um, and then our dog died on July 25th, and he was 14 years and 11 days. So we managed to celebrate his 14th birthday, and oh, I didn't expect to become so emotional. Okay, but Jesus loves me, right? No matter what. But anyway, I actually sometimes I call the dog because of his nature and his unconditional love. I sometimes called our dog Jesus. And so okay. You're just gonna have to bear over with me, because our dog was put to sleep, and it just cracked open some family traumas, and I completely cracked open. And I did not freeze. I did not run away. I cracked open. And I cried, and I cried, and I cried, and I cried. And as you can see, I still do. And my eyes were so swollen that I could hardly see through them. And when I looked in the mirror, my eyes were burning red. Were burning red. I have never seen them like that before. And we had never expected that the grieving of our dog would be so hard, but it really has been. And it's because he was old and he was sick and it was his time to go. And he told us, he left us with absolutely no doubt. And he was a blessing in our lives in so many ways that I cannot even begin to describe it. So when I title this video, I'm his girl now, it's because I want to be the girl. I'm Jesus's girl now. And I never grew up in a religious family. Never. I grew up with a little prayer that my mom used to say when we were little before bedtime with Jesus. My own grandmother on my mom's side, she knew her Bible. She believed in Jesus, and she actually had a near-death experience. And I have edited and published her poetry collection in Norwegian. So I have a friend who said, "You are so lucky. You have no idea how lucky you are. You were able to release all of this." And I totally understand her. I really do. But it's kind of challenging. It can be kind of hard when you're in the midst of it. So I guess I'm his girl now. Said I'm Jesus' girl now. I'm lucky. And interesting things are happening. So if you are having a really hard time, if you even get to the point where you cannot seem to understand where to go next or how things will turn out for you, there's a loving source there for you. You can ask for it. Sending you so much many blessings, and have a beautiful day.